Howdy out there, David Duford here. Thank you for watching this video. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing what I feel, as of 2020, are the best final expense carriers to sell telephonically from home. The reason I'm putting this video together is there's been a tremendous demand because of the coronavirus crisis to potentially start shifting gears away from face-to-face sales, which is what I normally advocate, and towards telesales instead. So my goal in this video is to really give you a detailed breakdown of what I think are the best, maybe 4 to 5 carriers you should be considering as far as selecting for any kind of over-the-phone, from-home, final expense telesales. So let's jump in. Now, the big thing here, now this is probably going to be like a stylistic difference than others will have, so I'm not going to say, you know, you have to do what I say. It's just kind of how I roll here, and kind of it's going to play into the grander scheme of things with our overall strategy. And that's this. I believe that the carriers to work with going forward are those who are voice app or VApps versus electronic apps or e-apps. And here's why. I think the easiest route is the best route to go. And that means that if you can eliminate additional steps to getting somebody approved and policies issued, that you're going to write more business and therefore keep more business. The problem I have with doing an electronic application, again, I'm fine in certain circumstances, but the problem I initially have doing electronic applications is a lot of our final expense clientele really don't have the ability to operate independently without us being there, their final expense e-app process. Meaning, if you have to email them something to sign, if you have to get them involved on their phone or their computers, it's likely you're going to experience more frustration than if you had the whole thing done verbally over the phone with an instant decision, and at the end of the phone call, the deal was wrapped up. So a lot of this also has to do with the style of leads that you're working. I just cut a video on the best final expense leads, and our focus is on the telemarketed side and the live transfer side. Those, you really need a VApp or a verbal authorization app in order to avoid all these additional extra steps, because frankly, the people we talk to are not the most technologically inclined. So different strokes for different folks, I guess. But for me personally, what you're going to see in this video, what I believe are the strongest verbal authorization apps to use so that you can maximize the amount of policies you're closing. So first of all, let me snap my fingers, pow, and show you on the screen here a great page you need to go to. It's called the top final expense carriers. You can see the link for it below. It not only lists all the carriers I'm about to talk about, but 19 of the ones I think are best overall to use. So make sure you check this out. If you're looking to add final expense carriers, want to know what the pros or cons are, I put together this large review article to help you out. So let's go jump right in to the first carrier. And here's the thing, guys. This isn't any kind of particular order. I'm just basically reviewing what I think are good companies and then explaining to you briefly why you should consider picking them up. The first one is Prosperity Life Group's New Vista product. Okay, again, you can see this whole overview in the description box below for each of these carriers. Prosperity Life has a total verbal authorization application where you get an instant decision in the vast majority of cases at the end of the phone interview. It's a third-party interview. They ask the questions, they confirm everything, and then give a decision. So with Prosperity Life, you're going to do an e-app first to fill out, and then you'll call up Aptical in order to complete the rest of the application. That's typically how it goes. So Prosperity's New Vista product has a lot of really good advantages that I think are definitely worth considering. So I'm just going to go down a real quick list of them right off the top of my head. The first one is that anybody who smokes anything other than a cigarette, including weed, an e-cig, e-vape thing, cigars, cigarellos, chew, or dip, is rated as a non-tobacco user. That's pretty cool. Also, Prosperity does not dock commission because you write a graded or a modified plan. Right now, the issue ages are 50 to 80, and at any of those ages, at any of those products, you are paid full commission. Other benefits include a 3-year look back for level coverage for cancer, a 2-year look back for level coverage for heart conditions, non-congestive heart conditions. And insulin is okay at pretty much all ages. In fact, it's not even asked about on the application. So I like Prosperity a lot. Understand, it's not in all states to do the telephonic application process. Before you place an order of leads in your intended area, make sure if you want to use Prosperity that you can get it. Again, this is just a brief overview. Please go to this page for even more information on the program. So the next on the list here is Royal Neighbors of America. We have access to this company at our organization, and thankfully we have access to their telephonic sales process that not only you can do face-to-face with the client, but also over the phone. So what's great about Royal Neighbors is they hit a lot of areas that a lot of other companies don't. So first of all, for example, there's no height weight chart with Royal Neighbors. So it doesn't matter how big or tall or wide they are. As long as they can answer all the questions known in the prescription checkout, they get approved for level coverage. Also, they take the vast majority of mental health issues as level. Also, they've got a 2-year look back on cancer, a 2-year look back on heart issues, and they're very diabetic friendly. They take insulin for level coverage after 30, and they don't ask about diabetic neuropathy. And if you ever look at their prescription hit list, it's extremely minimal relative to other carriers, and they take a lot of conditions that others don't. The other thing about Royal Neighbors is they do have fraternal benefits, being they're a fraternal benefits group that include dental and vision and hearing benefits. That's a huge selling point to use on your clients. It may seal the deal because of that extra little sizzle. And then overall, the prices are great. So I definitely recommend picking this up if you're going to do any kind of telephonic sales. And again, I have to emphasize, not all organizations have access to the telesales, virtual telesales model of business that we do. So if you're interested in doing this and you don't have it, let me know. I can help you. Or if you've not picked them up but you want to, reach out to me. Be happy to assist. So next on the list here is Liberty Bankers Life. And I think this is a must-have carrier for a lot of niche-based circumstances and issues that you're going to run into. So where Liberty Bankers stands strongly, first of all, is they've got a 2-year look back for their preferred plan or standard plans on heart issues or cancer, non-congestive heart issues, by the way. But they've got a really neat, and they also take all forms of mental health issues as preferred coverage as well. So there's no knockouts for bipolar or schizophrenia. And then the other advantage that Liberty Bankers have is in their standard plan. So their standard plan takes first day full coverage conditions otherwise declinable. That includes things like COPD. If your client recently finished getting cured from hepatitis C, immediately eligible for standard pricing. You can also get lupus and other neurological problems like Parkinson's, standard first day full coverage rates. Also, epilepsy seizures is eligible for standard pricing as well, first day full coverage rates. And insulin started after 25 is eligible for preferred rates, and then before 25, if there's, say, a type 1, eligible for standard rates. Also, neat thing about this carrier is that their preferred product starts at age 18, and then their standard product starts at age 25, and there's no difference in underwriting. There's other companies that have a different application for the younger people and a different one for the older. Not the case with Liberty Bankers Life. So bottom line, I think this is a great company to have. You could lead with this one and sell a lot of people a lot of coverage, but ultimately it's extremely powerful. You should pick them up. They're in most states. If this is something I can help you with, please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to serve you. So I'm happy to report that Great Western is in the game of doing telephonic applications for guaranteed issue. So this has been kind of the concern I have, and I've just realized that Great Western has allowed verbal authorization apps if you're not face-to-face with the client for a while. And so we need a good guaranteed issue carrier in our tool bag, and Great Western is pretty well, for the most part, balanced. You do an electronic application, and once you complete that, then you call a 1-800 number with a code they give you, and then do the authorization over the phone with your client, and then the policy is approved, assuming it's guaranteed issue. What's great about guaranteed issue with Great Western? Minimum $1,000 face, maximum $40,000 face, ages 40 to 80 years old. No commission cuts from 40 to 80 years old as well. Also, it's a simple application. They take all forms of payment, checking cards, debit cards, direct express, checking accounts. And they've got a 9-month limitation of chargebacks due to death. So if someone dies after the first 9 months of the effective date, you're protected from chargeback risk. Not the case with our other guaranteed issue carriers that force you to have a full chargeback period within 2 years. So if you haven't picked up Great Western, please do. It's well worth it. Commission is decent as far as guaranteed issue carriers go. If this is something I can help with you, reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you. So this carrier is a bit of a wild card. It's maybe something that's not going to be available in the near future, but if this is a timely watching of this video, I would highly recommend picking up this carrier. And this is Trinity Life, Family Benefit Life. This is one of my favorite face-to-face carriers, and the main reason is they offer really good pricing and a lot of underwriting flexibility. 2-year look back on heart issues. They're very good with diabetics, and they're very simple to use. Again, a complete verbal authorization application. If you like this carrier and want to learn more, just go to this page and then, of course, investigate further. You can see some sample applications, an agent guide, all that jazz. And if this is something you want to potentially pick up, we do offer them as well. So just reach out to me and I'll be happy to help you. So a couple of final points here as we wrap up this program, and I hope you got some really good value out of should you use and what carrier should you use. The first thing here is do make sure before you go too far in the sales process or selling over the phone process that you make sure that the carriers you want to work with are actually available in the states to do the telephonic application. I should have some resource guides on each of these pages that will tell you. Worst case, just call the companies directly and they'll definitely be able to tell you real quick. And last but not least, I want to share with you one more, I think, really good tool that you have access to for free. The link is going to be below in this video. It is a telesales carrier cheat sheet. So I'm actually going to pull this up and step to the side and then show you on the screen just a sample of what this is about. So this is a telesales cheat sheet. And essentially the way it works is that I've listed all the carriers that I've discussed, and what we're going to be doing is basically just having access to this to use as you need to do for the different conditions that you run into. So based on the condition, cardiac history, congestive heart failure, diabetes, COPD, if you can't keep all these carriers in your head, just refer to this cheat sheet and it will go over everything and really consolidate the underwriting process in order for you to pick the right carrier for your clients. So I'm putting this out for free because, again, you may be picking up a bunch of new carriers and are unfamiliar because some of these companies you're with probably don't do face-to-face or don't do telesales, and you need to have a quick and easy resource guide. This is free to you. There's no cost or obligation. If you just click the link, you're going to go to a saved version. Just click on File and then make a copy to save it to your Google Drive or your desktop or whatever it is that you use. But this is just something I want to put out here to help you guys out as you get up and running in the telesales world. So ladies and gentlemen, just want to thank you for your time here today. I do hope you got some value and training out of this. If this is your first foray into the telesales world, keep watching my videos as they come out. I'm really giving everything away when it comes to the telesales model of doing business. And if you've got any comments, questions, or constructive criticism, I always appreciate it. You can leave a comment below. If you want to learn more about joining my agency to sell final expense face-to-face or over the phone, go to davidduford.com, click Join Dave's Agency to learn more. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your time. See you.